I have had plans for our computer room for quite a while, and some of it I know what I want to do, and some of it I don't know what I want to do, and some of it has been hopes to turn it into a room that I'm not sure it's going to be turned into. So what I finally did, though, was buy a new desk because I have been sitting at a non-ergonomic desk for far too long for somebody who has ergonomic training, and it is bothering me. It is hurting me. I really should not be sitting at a desk that is not an ergonomic workstation, especially for how much I do find myself on my computer. But I can't put that desk together, and I can't put that desk in here and start using it because this room is an absolute mess. And part of that is because it was the landing spot for all of our stuff. We just shoved it in here during the kitchen renovation when we moved everything essentially from the kitchen to the living room. A bunch of stuff from the living room came in here, and then it became a dumping ground, and we just never got it under control. So here's what we're looking at. You may recognize this was where I used to film my videos, and I don't, partially because of this. And I've decided that I want to do something about it. So I did buy a desk, and I need to put that together, and I need to get it in here, which means that I need to disassemble this big desk, and that would be fine, but it actually has built-in storage. So I'm going to need a place to put all the things that are being stored in there right now, which part of that is just downsizing. I have knickknacks and things that I don't need. Most of the stuff that you saw in the background of my videos in the past, those are all sentimental things that are up there. Some of it's not, though, and I absolutely can deal with that. Some of it's junk, and some of it is nail polish that needs to live somewhere else. I'm going to work with my husband on what we want to keep, what we don't want to keep, and I think I'm going to move some of that storage over here and get this room into a spot where I'm a little bit happier with it. And that includes someday building shelves and having, just ultimately more storage in here. I'm going to start small, though, and I'm just going to grab this trash bag and start throwing away the obvious junk and sorting things into piles and getting things out of here that don't belong in here. I finally took the leftover rotisserie chicken and all of the frozen veggies that I've had in the freezer, and I made a broth. It smells really good, and it's insanely full. Take a look. Look at that. That's some good looking broth. Ready for the freezer. And I made a chicken and wild rice soup with the broth. This looks and smells so good. Oh my gosh, I feel like my hair is just so crazy poofy this morning. I am on my way to go visit my grandma this morning. We were talking on Friday, I think, and she is working on going out to a farm and picking a bunch of cucumbers because she has a lot of pickling to do. She says she's almost out of pickles, so she needs to go get some cucumbers and make a bunch of new pickles. And she wasn't looking forward to it because she is getting older and it's getting harder for her to pick all those cucumbers. And I said, I'm not doing anything. I can come help. So here we are. I'm going to go help her pick some cucumbers today. So let's go out to the farm. Hey, so I was going to say that was fun. I don't know that the word is fun. It wasn't not fun, but bending over and picking a bunch of small gherkins and searching through some fairly old cucumber plants, hoping for these small little ones that my grandma uses for her sweet pickles, was a lot of work. Usually she said that she goes a little earlier in the season, but she just got back from Germany. So we went now and we did what we could. We got enough for what she needed, but it was a little rough and it was hard on the back. And thank God we went out there early in the morning because it was starting to get pretty hot and I did not dress cool enough for sure. But my aunt met us out there and the three of us got through it relatively quickly. So there's that. I did get some pickles out of it. She gave me a jar of dill and then she gave me a jar of the sweet pickles. She said this is the second to last jar. And that's why she was going out to get the little cucumbers today. So I feel very honored that I got the second to last jar of the pickles. She also, in her own little garden, grew carrots and gave me some carrots to take home. So I got all of these fresh carrots. They smell so good when I open the bag. There is not much better than some fresh garden produce, that's for sure. And so with so many of them, I was thinking, okay, what can I do other than, obviously I want to steam up a few and just eat them. Carrot soup. I decided I want to make a carrot soup. So I stopped at the store on the way home and I got an onion and ginger. And I'm going to use some of the really awesome stock that I made for this carrot soup. So I'll probably make that in a couple of days. The carrots can sit for a little bit. So the other thing is that my order came in and I feel really silly and I felt a little silly when I picked them up, but I can't help it. I got the mini buckets from Lowe's. I'm so excited. So I stopped by. Look at how small they are. They're so cute. I stopped by Lowe's and picked up my order. I couldn't help it. I went to go get them the last time they had them and they were out. So when they emailed me saying they were back in stock, I immediately bought some. Do I have plans for them? No. Am I happy that I have the tiny little buckets? Yes. So all of that being said, I'm feeling sort of weird. Like, I guess I don't want to use the word feeling because like my mood and my feelings have been very stable. I've been very happy. I am feeling really good. I have been experiencing some laziness. I don't know what exactly that is. So all of last week, I didn't record much. I've been sporadically putting things together because I just don't feel like doing anything. And I'm trying to honor the fact that I think maybe I just need a rest, right? Maybe my body and my mind just needs a rest, and maybe I should just embrace the fact that I don't have anything pressing right now and just not do anything. So I didn't do much for the whole week, which feels sort of weird, but I don't feel bad about it. I don't know. I'm not normally like lazy and just don't do anything. But what I am finding to be a little bit difficult right now is how do I even put this? I'm having a hard time balancing all the things that I need and finding a good like middle ground for everything. So for this last week, giving myself that grace and just allowing myself to not do things or not feel like, oh, I got to get stuff done, I think was really good for my soul. I think it was a really good rest. But not only does it mean that I don't get stuff done, I find it hard to balance the other important things in my life. So I was not watching what I was eating. I have not been tracking. I have not been weighing, and I have not been trying. And that makes me feel kind of guilty. It's like, I don't know why I can't just find like a nice balance to everything. Like, why is it this all or nothing mentality that I have, that I've struggled with my whole life? Why is it that if I take sort of a rest where I'm not putting too much pressure on myself and I'm not like rushing to get things done and I'm just trying to, exist and live my life and that being very successful and feeling like really good about that and feeling just really good in general, but then my physical health falls to the wayside. Like I can't just have like a base level of everything. I can't put less pressure on myself and feel less anxiety and also watch what I'm eating. I mean, it hasn't been like really, really bad, but it hasn't been great. I'm trying to figure that out as I go. I'm kind of in uncharted territories right now. So I'm just sort of listening and keeping in mind what's going on. I have a doctor's appointment on Friday to assess how the last basically 3.5, almost 4 weeks of medication have gone. So I'm just going to talk to him about my experiences and just see. I imagine he is going to tell me that things are sounding good right now and to just continue this dose and check in with him in another month. I don't see any reason right now to change my dose or change anything that I'm doing. I am overall feeling really good and really positive. I just wish I could find a better balance where I don't like overanalyze and overdo everything. And in the past, I have seen this when I tried to track my food before, but it manifested in a bit of a different way where I got overly obsessive with like my calorie counting and pre-tracking my food and being like super worried about what I was eating and when, and that got to be like too much and too anxiety ridden. And I'm not doing that this time, but I am finding that it just seems to be a lot of mental effort to be keeping all of these things in my mind at the same time. Maybe some of that is just like exposure therapy in a way, right? And just trying little bits at a time until I find that balance and until I get there. I can't expect myself to be able to do it right away. So for now, I just keep plugging forward and doing the best that I can. All we can do is the best that we can at any given time, and hope that it's good enough and just try. So that's what I'm working on. But I thought I'd give a little bit of an update because I haven't really been picking up my camera. I haven't really been doing a lot, and therefore I haven't really been recording a lot. And I thought I might kind of delve into why, for your sake and for mine. I wanted to sit down or stand up in my kitchen and think about it. Like, why am I feeling this way? Why might this be happening? There you go. Loud drinker. Parker, very loud. Very loud drinking while mommy's recording. Gosh. Hey, let's make some bread today. Since I wanted to make bread last week and I didn't have any milk and a couple of the ingredients I needed, one being loaf pans, which I have caved and bought new ones because I just really don't know where the old ones are, but I am ready to take a stab at making the bread that I wanted to make. And I'm actually going to make 2 different loaves today because we are eating leftover chicken and wild rice soup. And I really want like a slice of crusty bread with it. And I almost picked some up at the store yesterday when I was grabbing a couple ingredients. And then I realized, no, I can make a loaf. That's what I've been wanting to do anyway. So I'm going to make a loaf of French bread. And while that is baking, then I'm going to start working on getting a loaf of sandwich bread proofed. This is what I've been trying to make for a while because I would like to make just a regular sandwich bread loaf for toast in the morning. And I think that that's really going to actually help me. I have been wanting to get back to my regular morning routine, and I've been feeling, like I said yesterday, kind of lazy about it, kind of weird about it. And I think I just got out of my routine just a bit too much, and it threw me off. So I would like to just start with what I was doing that was working really well for me. I'd like to have my yogurt and my toast in the morning, be going on my walk with the dog in the morning, starting to build back that morning routine that was making me really happy and successful also for my weight loss. I weighed myself this morning and I was only up about 1.5 pounds or so, considering the way that I have sort of been behaving. That is really, really good in my opinion. And so I feel like if I can just get right back on the wagon, so to speak, and move forward with my routine again, things will fall back into place fairly easily. And I think I'm ready for that. I've taken my little breather and I'm not enjoying it anymore. So let's get back to the regular stuff. So 2 loaves of bread, and I want to get started on this French loaf first. the sandwich loaf is proofing right now for the first proof. So I have it over by the warm oven. I just turned that off for the bread that we just baked. I'm going to check it in 1 hour, and in the meantime, I am going to go and clean up that room that I've been trying to clean up in our computer room, so that I can get a step closer to getting that room organized and get my new desk in there. It's time for something new. We have had this bookshelf like this since we moved into this house, like almost 6 years ago, but also I'm pretty sure it was mostly like this before we, switched houses and we just redid it over here. Most of this is Loot Crate stuff. Back when we used to get Loot Crates, like some of it we like, but it was random, right? Loot Crates were random. So we have all of these things, and I don't need all of it. Plus, look at how dusty it gets. So I told my husband I'm going to set aside the things that I don't think are sentimental and I don't think that we really care about, and have him go through it. And we're going to pare this down. Ideally, I'd like to put some of the things that were sentimental on my desk that's getting pulled apart on here, but I've been avoiding this because there's just a lot of stuff here. So I think today is the day that I'm gonna at least poke around at it. So I just got the bread rolled up and proofing for the second time in the loaf pan. I went ahead and put it in the oven because it's still just very faintly warm in there. So I think that's a really nice place to proof right now. But it's already after 5. So I will definitely report back how the French loaf turned out tonight for dinner. And then tomorrow is when I will probably cut into the sandwich bread, toast that up, and see how that turned out. That turned out pretty good.